Alright guys, welcome back to the Homeland Defense Podcast, although it's not really a podcast right now, because I'm trying to make content without a lot of crap going on in the NFL. Well, there's stuff going on, but I don't care about OTAs or practice or off-season. I care about free agent signings and stuff, but I'm bad at this. But it don't matter. Today we're going to do a very scuffed NFL team tier list for the 2021-2022 NFL season. So basically, if you've never seen a tier list before, I take the selected team and I put them in one of these categories. Like if they're a Super Bowl contender, I put them in that column. If they're playoff bound, barely made the wild card, gonna miss the playoff, or if they're just a trash team, like just Garbo 2 wins, 3 wins, 0-16 teams. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I've never really done one of these before, so I might do more. But the Bengals. I think the Bengals, if Joe Burrow is healthy, they can barely make the wild card. But I think just barely they're going to miss the playoffs by maybe 1 or 2 wins, honestly. San Francisco. Trey Lance was their draft pick. They didn't do so hot last season, but I think that was because of injuries. I maybe see San Francisco making a comeback and barely making the wild card round. If Jimmy G does play out and Trey Lance is a good quarterback. If not, then they're gonna miss the playoffs. But if one of the 2 quarterbacks works out this season and doesn't get injured, then probably barely gonna make the wild card. Okay, Chicago. I do not hold Chicago very high. Chicago's a decent team. They have good stuff. They just drafted Justin Fields to be their starter guy. But Justin Fields, I'm still a little iffy on him. I wasn't really, he fell for a reason. He was, projected to be, maybe the number 2 pick in the draft, and he fell all the way down. I honestly think that the Bears are going to be one of those teams. If Justin Fields kind of works out, I still think they're probably going to miss the playoffs one way or another. Okay, Green Bay, with Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers does stay, they are obviously Super Bowl contenders to me. Green Bay is a really good football team, especially if they can get more wide receivers. They have not been so lucky. They have not been so lucky in, the whole the whole conference championship or the NFC championship game. They've been losing that a lot lately. They've been getting there, but I think they are probably Super Bowl contenders. Okay, so Arizona, I think is a freaking stacked team right now. Arizona's going to go in that season with Kyler Murray, AJ Green, JJ Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, all those people, and they're going to be playoff bound. They're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to at least go to the divisional round, maybe lose the divisional round, I don't know. But they're going to be playoff bound. Okay, so the Colts. Okay, I don't think the Colts are trash, but I think they're going to miss the playoffs. I think they're absolutely going to miss the playoffs. Seattle always puts up a fight. I honestly think they have some good people, with Jamal Adams coming into their team last year. He's been playing pretty well. Defense pretty good. Russell Wilson, need to get him a better offensive line, but I still think even with a bad offensive line, the Seahawks are playoff bound. Texans, trash. Go ahead, Texans fans, rain at me all you want, but if Deshaun Watson, since Deshaun Watson isn't really going to play for your team next season, you're going to be trash, boy. Who are you going to have? A.J. McCarron, starting quarterback? You can barely make the playoffs even with Deshaun Watson. You need Deshaun, bro. And he does not want to play with you. Okay, Jags. I'm not going to put Jags in trash teams. I honestly think they are going to miss the playoffs, but they're going to do some pretty good things with Trevor Lawrence. That's my speculation right there. Chargers Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's really good. This one's really hard for me. This one's really freaking hard. I think I'm going to go barely made the wild card. Because they have a really good quarterback. I think they're going to be kind of good this season. Okay, Cowboys. I'm in between going to miss the playoffs and trash teams. Because Zeke has been fumbling. He's a shell of his former self. CeeDee Lamb has been doing pretty good. Dak is getting off an injury. He might not ever play the same again. So if Dak doesn't play the same again, Zeke doesn't even improve. The offense is just crumbling. Amari Cooper hasn't really been playing as well as he's supposed to. The defense, they might be losing Leighton Vander Esch. I think the Cowboys are probably going to be a trash team next season, if you look at the logistics of it. Okay, New York Giants, they made a late playoff run last season, but they were still kind of bad with Daniel Jones. You need a new quarterback, man, so I'm going to put you in, going to miss the playoffs. They're still a decent team if Saquon comes back, but I think they're going to miss the playoffs. They made a playoff run last season. I think their team is pretty good. I think the defense could have some improvement, but they're going to miss the playoffs. Okay, Panthers. I honestly see Sam Darnold making, coming back up and being, I'm such a good quarterback now. Look at me. I have all the power in the world. And, barely make the wild card round with them. Like, they are honestly a pretty good team. I think they're going to snag it just by maybe with one win. Like, if they lost one game, they wouldn't make the playoffs. But, they just barely make it in. So, yeah. I think that's good. Okay, so now we're on the Saints. Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. I'm sorry, Saints fans, but this is probably going to be a trash team. Not even going to... I don't think I'm going to... I don't think I'm going to do that. I think they're going to miss the playoffs, but I don't think they're a trash team. They still have Michael Thomas. They still have a good defense. They still have a good offense. Alvin Kamara can surely win you a couple games, even with Jameis Winston, if Jameis can make a resurgence, or if Taysom Hill. Honestly, Taysom Hill is one of my favorite players. I think if he can throw the ball better, then you got yourself a good team. Philadelphia Eagles, unbiased, they are trash. The Philadelphia Eagles are putting Holland on their second-round pick, Jalen Hurts. They have drafted Devontae Smith, who is honestly, to me, the best wide receiver in the draft, but I think that's just because he won the Heisman to me. I don't really follow college football a lot. But, I think the Eagles are going to be a pretty trash team this season. They really don't have an offense, especially, losing a bunch of key players like Jalen Mills and stuff like that. Their defense doesn't really look that good. I think they're going to be trash, probably win like 4 or 5 games this season. Minnesota Vikings are going to miss the playoffs like always. Well, not like always. They've been making a couple playoff runs. Justin Jefferson, pretty good. Kirk Cousins, pretty good. I think they're barely going to miss the playoffs, or they could barely make the wild card. Like it's hard. It's hard for me to decide. I think it's a decent team though. Screw it. I'm gonna go barely made the wild card. I think the Vikings are a good NFL team. I think they're a really good contender. Okay, Buffalo Bills, unbiased. I'm putting you in a Super Bowl contender. Although I do hate the Bills, we are division rivals with them. They are bowl-bound. They have a really good team. They're stacked. If they play like they did last season, they are bowl-bound. Okay, my favorite team, New England Patriots, Super Bowl contender. This is the most biased selection ever because I'm actually going with this. New England has a stacked team right now. If Mac Jones can come out play well, if Cam Newton can even come out and play well with Belichick in the playoffs, they are honestly Super Bowl contenders to me. Not everyone is as big as well, again, I'm not the biggest Patriots fan, but still. Well, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm not like, oh, yes, everything Patriots do I will find. But, I honestly do think Patriots are Super Bowl contenders. Unbiased. I think they're Super Bowl contenders, no doubt. Broncos, they're going to be trash. Like always, Drew Lock, well, Teddy Bridgewater is their quarterback, but still, they're going to be trash with Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, Rams, they're playoff bound like always, especially with Stafford now. Rams are always a decent team. Robert Woods, amazing. Of course, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey on that defense, though. Amazing defense. I think Stafford's really going to do something on that offense. And Lions, of course, you know that they're going to be trash. Sorry, MMG or any Lions fans out there, but Lions are going to be trash this season, especially with Jared Goff, and they didn't even take Justin Fields in the draft when they literally fell right into their lap like the Broncos did. You didn't take Justin Fields, Mac Jones, any person like that. So you're going to be trash again this season. Detroit, keep on tanking until you get the next Manning brother who's in high school right now. New York, they drafted Zach Wilson. I'm not the highest on Zach Wilson, but I honestly think they're going to improve a bit since Adam Gase got fired. I think they're probably still going to miss the playoffs, though. They're going to get like 6-7 wins, maybe. Something like that. They're going to do pretty well. Cleveland, they're playoff bound. They played really well last season. I would probably say Super Bowl contender if Odell or Jarvis Landry were at 100%. But, you know, they couldn't beat the Chiefs last season. They almost beat the Chiefs. So I honestly think they're really good, and they are playoff bound. Baltimore has disappointed me last season. I thought Lamar Jackson was going to go in there after going 14-2 and losing in the playoffs and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go run on everybody, and they're going to and just freaking go and maybe even win the Super Bowl. Like, sure, Lamar Jackson got his first ever playoff win last season. I honestly still think they're barely going to make the wild card round. Mostly because I think the Ravens are really, really, really falling off lately. I maybe they make a resurgence and they go playoff bound, but to me right now, if they play like they did last season, especially with some of the stuff they lost in free agency in the offseason, I think they're still kind of playoff bound, but they're gonna barely make the wild card to me. Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan has not been playing well. You're probably not gonna have Julio Jones next season. You got Kyle Pitts, and you are trash. Like always, that defense needs some help. Todd Gurley's not playing 100% like he used to in, you know, good old St. Louis or Los Angeles with the Rams. So I honestly think Falcons going to be pretty trash next season. Again, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, this is definitely what's going to happen. This is just my opinion. I really don't care if like the Falcons like go make the playoffs. Like, I'm just doing this straight for fun. Okay, Chiefs. This is going to trigger a lot of people, but they are playoff bound. I do not think they are Super Bowl contenders. They lost the Super Bowl. Sure, they only lost 2 games last season, but again, I think Patty Mahomes boy has lost a lot of morale since, you know, losing the Super Bowl to old Tommy Brady. So, I don't think the Chiefs are going to make the Super Bowl 3 times in a row. And if they do, they're probably going to lose again. I'm just saying, like, you know how the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, like everyone was saying, Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the league, oh my god. And, he made the Super Bowl, he beat the Broncos, and then he played the Patriots with Tom Brady, and then Brady, like, killed the Seahawks dynasty that they could have probably had if Brady didn't, you know, kill him. But, you know, I think that's kind of what happened to Patrick Mahomes. I think, honestly, I don't think they're going to have a dynasty. I honestly think that they're still going to make the playoffs, they're still going to be a good team. I just don't think they're going to make a Super Bowl 3 years in a row. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I honestly think, are Super Bowl contenders. Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, freaking Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones. O.J. Howard, all these freaking people on the offense, and you got Devin White, Jason Pierre-Paul, and freaking... Oh my god, it's a stacked team, okay? They are 100% Super Bowl contenders in my eyes. Hey, maybe Patriots, Buccaneers, Super Bowl, you don't know. That would be an awesome Super Bowl. Okay, Miami Dolphins, if they stick with Tua and they actually play well, especially with Will Fuller, I honestly think they're barely going to make the wildcard round. I think they're going to be a really good team. I think they're going to get at least 7 or 8 wins, maybe even 9 wins, I don't know. I think they're going to have a decent season, maybe go 8-8. Well, 8-9 since they're adding a new season, or 9-8, something like that. Not a new season, another game. But yeah, I think the Dolphins are actually a pretty good team this year. I think the AFC East is going to be a very competitive division this year, and I'm very excited for it. Oh my god. Oakland Raiders. Very, 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 I don't know what to do, because, like, they played good last season, they almost made the wild card round, like, I don't know, man, like, it's between these two, like, I think John Gruden's gonna screw up again, and they're gonna miss the playoffs. Pains me to say, because I actually think the Raiders are really good with Josh Jacobs, so I think they're going to miss the playoffs again. Why is there 2 Rams? Rams. Go with the Rams. You Rams, of course, make the playoffs. Tennessee Titans. They've made the playoffs consistently 2 seasons in a row, even beating my New England Patriots with Tom Brady, making them leave. Kind of hate them for that. But I do think they are playoff bound. I do think the Titans are going to do really good this season, and again, they're going to make the playoffs. They're a Washington football team. That's not the right logo for it. I'm sorry, I didn't make it. Washington. Washington is probably... I think they're going to fall off, and they're going to miss the playoffs again. They have a decent team, but again, they got Fitzmagic at quarterback, bro. Like, what are you doing? You got Fitzmagic. I don't think he's going to get you a playoff spot. Steelers! They're going to miss the playoffs. They're going to fall off. Big Ben is going to die on the field and probably get injured. Big Ben's not going to fucking make the playoffs. He is not making the freaking playoffs. The Steelers aren't making the playoffs no matter what. That's just my opinion. There's nothing that you could tell me to say the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. Like, last season, I think they went 11-0. Basically, they had a good team. I just think they did it with luck. It was very lucky. I don't think they had the hardest schedule. I think when they played good teams, they played well. But, again, I don't think the Steelers are a really good team. But that's just my opinion, of course. But yeah, that is my NFL tier list for the 2021-2022 NFL season. If you guys want me to do another one of these tier lists in the future, maybe with quarterbacks or anything like that, then please tell me in the comments. Leave a like on the video. Really supports it. These are, of course, just my opinions. I don't think this is absolutely going to happen. Like, these are just predictions as of right now. Like, the preseason even started. We're kind of close to this season, but we're not really that close to the season yet to finally make these final predictions. And yeah, if you guys did like the video, then leave a like. I don't know how to do outros, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.